Hey everyone. So today I've got taken apart here a Shin Showa X Key. This is a 2-row dimple lock. You can see the key there. I'll talk a little bit about it before we get over to picking and gutting. But just wanted to point a couple weird things out. So number one, as you can see on the key, we've got 4 dimples on each side. So this is a 2-row key. The key is reversible. It can go in either way. It's got these blanks sections in it, and when I gutted this, those actually had no pins in them. So you can see on this side there, there's no dimples under the 1st and the 5th chambers, and on this side there's no dimples under the, I guess this would be the 4th and the 6th. There is a biasing bearing that goes into the front right here, so that one does get technically populated, but it's not an active pin. So that was kind of interesting. I'm not sure why that is, if these all have keys like that with those blank sections, because if there was any pin, that would instantly overset it. So it may be part of the pinning of this. Some other interesting stuff about this: it's got all these little spool drivers in it. These are kind of cool. Show those close up. So this top part goes into the spring, and then the bottom part is the active element that you are picking for this. So it does give some spool-like feedback with tiny falset as part of it. Nothing really interesting about the drivers per se, but I will show something interesting about the key here. And this is kind of hard to see, but if you I'm going to take my pick and I'm going to insert it. So these kind of min lifts, there's 2 min lifts right there. If I take the end of my key and insert it and then hold my fingers flush to the key, actually it might be better with something small and straight. So I'm going to put this Allen wrench in here and hold my fingers flush to the key. And then when I put this on top, you can see how far that min lift goes. It almost goes through the key, which means that that minimum lift, it basically crosses almost the entire keyway. You cannot touch it really, or you will overset that pin. So that was interesting to learn on this. Usually the way these high pin count dimple locks work, the cuts for like a 0 are not that deep on the key. So you actually can still, or need to, push those pins up a little bit. But when they are in the lock, you know, they cross the keyway essentially. And if you push them at all, you overset. So I used this neutral flag to pick it because I was going on the left and right side, and I would dip it underneath all those min lifts just so I didn't actually hit those. I think that's about it that I want to talk to. This lock was not too terrible to get open. Gutting it was kind of an issue because none of my followers were the right size, so I have to figure out honestly how I'm gonna put it back together because I can't get a follower that fits in here. I might have to make one, because otherwise this is going to be kind of a pain to get all the drivers in and use the plug as a follower and everything. But we'll see how it goes. So there you go. That is a Shin Showa X Key, 2-row dimple lock, and we'll get over to the picking part next. Okay, here is my Shin Showa X Key. Key does work, and I'm using a 2mm tensioner on the bottom here, and I'm using a neutral flag, and let's see, most of the lifts are on the right hand side. That's pin 1 on the right, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna go way into the back here. Let's see if I can get these rearmost pins. That's 1. And this actually, there's a decent lift on the left-hand side back here too that I think I need to get to. All right, I've got a little bit of a false set going. I believe there are spools in this. Although I've not gutted it, so I'm not 100% sure. But let's see. All right, I think I need to start working on the left-hand side. There's a pin in the middle here that needs to go. Here. And let me just double check these front ones. And there we go. All right, so that is open. Definitely had to hit some of the front pins a couple times. I'm not sure if that's an indication of overmilling or if they just drop. All right, like I said, I've never gutted this, so I'm not sure what exactly to expect here other than I know it's 2 rows. I'm gonna relock this. And there's like the hint of Bible covers here, but I didn't want to destroy this, so I'm gonna try to gut it through the middle and just see how things shake out. Let's see if I can get these screws out, take the cam off. I think this follower will work. Is this the right size? Might be a little big. Let's see. Okay, that one is a little big. Let me try this slightly smaller one here. Okay, I think that's too big too. This one I think is going to be, that's way small. All right, let me try some unconventional ones next. Nope. I was unprepared for this. I might just use the plug as the follower here then. Which means I'm going to gut it back to front. So maybe we'll just do that and see how that goes. Putting it back together is going to be a pain, but I think I can function. So, okay, I'm not sure what's going to pop out first, if it's going to be a key pin or a driver. Looks like maybe a driver here. that's just a hole. There's nothing there. Okay, I see a driver on this other side. Okay. That was a standard driver. Let's see one over here. That one is a little mushroom spool, looks like. Whoops. Or a reverse T-pin. Okay, then I've got an empty hole. Okay, it's another one of these little reverse T-pins here. Or I guess just a T-pin maybe. And another empty hole. So you can see the pin popping out there. I'll try to release this one real slow. Okay, here's one from the other side finally. These drivers are I'm gonna end up putting these in weird orders and it's gonna be a problem. Oh, that one just shot out. Ooh, I lost two there. Hold on. One from each side, I think. Well, the nice part is I can at least just match these up with the, oh, there's a spring. Match these up with what key pins are populated. Yeah, lots of these little weird spoolie things. Should have, there's one more right there. I was gonna say, I think this has 4 pins on each side. And one of them is a standard and the rest are these kind of weird drivers. Okay, I think that's, oh, no, there's one more. Ball bearing. That's probably for biasing. I'll put that right here. Okay, so you can see the populated chambers on this side. It's 2, 3, 4 in the last one. And on this side, it's 2, 3. Oh, not the last. Oh, the last one. This one, it's that's where the bearing went, right there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I lost a pin. Okay, these I need to keep in the correct order, or else this is going to be a big problem putting this back together. Okay. So let me make some space here. So I gutted this rear. I'm gonna have to watch this video to make sure I put these things back in the right orders. But we'll do that. We'll call this side. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that's gonna be an issue. I know this is 2 max lifts. And I'm in. Well, that didn't go as planned. That's right, I'll be able to put those back in the right spot there. Shouldn't be a huge deal. All right, so there you go, that's gutted. Let's check the plug out here. Let's see if there's any milling. It looks like maybe some over milling. I can barely feel it. I may need a smaller pick. Let's see here. I can feel a little ridge. It's minimal though. I don't know. Whoop. Was that the biasing? Oh, there was something in there for the biasing bearing. Okay. I'm gonna have to find that. That's no good. Yeah, there's barely something in there. I heard that thing hit the floor. All right, and there's your pins. Let's look at the key pins here. Looks like pretty standard high pin count key pins. These drivers are very weird though. So the pointy top goes up towards the spring, and then you can see they've got some spooling, so they do act like spools. All right. Putting this together is going to be an adventure, but that wasn't too tricky to take apart, so that's good. Yeah, nothing special in here, so. All right, that is, again, a Shin Showa X Key, picked and gutted.